Good morning, Jean. I'm glad you could make it. Hi, Edward, Zadia. Wonderful. Suzanne, good morning. Welcome, everyone. So let's get some movement into our bodies. I hope you can see me and hear me okay. All right. So if you can, I would invite you to come into a tabletop position on your mat, or you can even do the seated if you want to, like we often do before the meditations. For the purpose of mixing it up a little bit, make it a little bit fresh this morning, let's come into tabletop if you can. Your hands are beneath your shoulders, your knees are beneath your hips, your navel is drawing up towards your spine, so you've got a slight tightening there, and there's a sense of lift between your shoulder blades, even when you're in this neutral position, so that you aren't collapsing down between your shoulders, but lifting up. Taking a deep breath in and exhaling, rounding to cat, tucking the chin, arching between the shoulder blades as you pull your belly button up towards your spine. Pressing down through the shins and the fronts of your feet. Inhale as you come to a cow pose, lifting the chin, lifting the tail, and getting the most beautiful stretch from the tip of your chin all the way to your pubic bone. Exhale as you round your spine. Breathing out through the mouth. Inhale to cow. You're doing 3 more like that. So at your own pace, inhaling to cow, exhale to cat, pressing down, press down through the hands, through the shins. Inhale. Last one, inhaling and exhale. Coming to a neutral spine, you might want to tuck your toes under actually and sit back on your heels for a moment and just release your wrists a little bit. Especially if you're not familiar or not used to being in that sort of weight-bearing pose. Just releasing there. And then coming back into your tabletop position. Left hand right in the middle of your mat. Yes, left hand in the middle. Right arm up towards the sky. Reaching all the way up. Beautiful stretch. And then exhale as you thread the needle. Bring your right hand all the way through. Resting down on your right shoulder. And you can extend your left arm to the top of your mat. Taking a few breaths there. You can even wrap that left arm around your right inner waist if you want, or your right inner thigh. Release that left hand down onto the mat in front of your face. Bring your right hand through and up towards the sky. And let go. We'll take it over to the other side. Right hand placed down in the middle of your mat. Again, lifting out of your right shoulder, drawing in your navel, trying to keep your hips centered. As you inhale the left arm up. And exhale, threading the needle. Nice strong exhalation as you settle down on top of your left shoulder. If you can, just do what you can. You can bring your right hand to the top of your mat. And then you can even wrap your right arm around your left inner waist. Maybe even have the stretch to grab hold of your left inner thigh. Doesn't matter if you don't get that grip, you can keep your arm exactly where it was. As long as you can maintain a connection with your breath, that's the most important thing. The rest is really just fluff. Inhale, bring your right hand down onto the floor in front of your face, press down as you release the left arm up towards the sky. And then letting go. Good. Let's again tuck the toes under. How are we doing for time? We've got a couple of minutes left. Let us bring the feet over to the one side, sit the tail down, and let us bring our feet into Baddha Konasana again. This is just a nice one, just to wake the hips up. Soles of the feet together, knees out to the side. You can bring your feet in close if you want a really strong stretch, or you can keep your feet extended. Really doesn't matter, you just do what works for you this morning. So, wherever you are in your body, maybe take a little move forward, maybe release any flesh that's behind you, so you're sitting slightly forward on your sitting bones. And just start gently flapping your knees, inhaling as you lengthen your spine. Exhale as you relax your shoulders, keeping the flapping going, maybe deepening the movement slightly. You can stay here if this is where you want to stay, but if it's accessible to you, I invite you to bring your right foot back so that your left foot is reaching towards your right knee. Give yourself a little bit of centering so you're sitting nice and tall. Take a deep breath in. Exhale as you turn to the left. Using your left hand to just anchor you as you're facing towards the left. You can use your right hand to gently hold onto the left knee, or you can turn your right palm to face away from the left knee. And you can do the same with your left hand, so you're getting a little bit more of a strong hold. See if you can soften into your hips as you take about 3 breaths here. And then inhaling, slowly releasing. Bringing your feet together for a moment, hands on your knees. Exhaling as you hang back, tucking your chin. Inhale as you come forward. You can even draw your chest all the way forward between your knees. Exhale, rounding. Inhale, lifting, arching. Exhale, rounding. Inhale, coming up. And then we take it over to the other side. So remember, if you're not doing the leg thing, you can just stay as you are in this butterfly pose. Otherwise, bring your left foot back, your right foot to the inside of the left knee. See if you can sit nice and tall again. Breathe in. Exhale as you twist from the lower spine, the middle spine, towards the right. Just taking a few breaths here. The inhalation we always use to lengthen the spine. And then the exhalations you can use to pull your navel in towards your spine, which gives you the most beautiful, beautiful wake up for your digestive system. If you like the more active stretch, you can turn both your palms to face forward. And then pressing the back of the left hand against the outside of the right knee and holding that. And inhaling as you untwist yourself, straightening your legs all the way out just to get ready for our sitting. Legs are straight, you can bend your knees if you need to. Again, walk a little bit forward. Feet are flexed. Inhale the arms all the way up. And exhale as you fold. Remember, you can bend your knees. Don't force it. You're bringing yourself into a nice gentle state of relaxation. And if you start forcing things here now, you're just going to move into a stress response. So see if you can soften into the backs of your legs, maybe tucking your chin, maybe taking a few breaths to get a nice stretch. Inhale as you lift. Exhale as you fold. And then inhaling as you make your way all the way up. Good, and we'll move on to our seated meditation. Bear with me. So, good morning everyone. Thank you for joining me. A bunch more people have joined. Welcome, welcome. Who've all we got? Fantastic. Welcome everyone. I know some of you are doing your meditation outside. I wonder, Arina, if you're still outside. It's getting colder. Wherever in the world you are, welcome. We in South Africa heard last night that our lockdown has been extended by a further 2 weeks. And from what I am picking up, there's quite a lot of mixed emotions about that news. But I think that it just triggers a whole new process of emotions and thoughts. Hi Claire, welcome. Just mentioning the lockdown extension. People are likening this emotional journey that we're on as something akin to processing grief. There are all kinds of stages that we seem to be going through, from the denial to bargaining to anger, depression, and finally acceptance. I think that I've fast forwarded to acceptance already of this extension after having been through all the emotions the first time, because what else can we do? So just trusting that it's for the best for our country. Good. So let us settle into whatever comfortable position works for you. There we go. And as always, we will start with one chime of the singing bowl, followed by 3 ohms. As always, feel free to join me or just listen. If it doesn't work for you, then just listen. Taking a deep breath in through the nose, sighing it out through the mouth. Another full breath in. One more breath, just like that. Full breath in through the nose. And sigh it out. I invite you this morning to bring one hand onto your heart, one hand onto your belly, relaxing your shoulders, relaxing your hands so that your self-embrace is one of tenderness and empathy. Holding yourself as you would a dear friend. Just feeling how you're feeling this morning. Noticing where in your body there may be tightness, tension, and using your out breaths to explore whether it's possible, whether it feels safe enough to soften into those areas that are bracing. thoughts may be 1,000,000 miles away. With the next breath in, you can park whatever it is that you're thinking about and bring your attention back to this embrace of yourself, using the out breaths to soften all the thinking, all the planning can wait until after we've sat. You can go back to it. For this moment, allowing yourself this unprecedented gift of being completely and unapologetically honest with yourself about how you're feeling this morning. Using a word, or maybe 2 words, to encapsulate how you feel. Not needing to know why you're feeling how you're feeling. Not wanting or needing to change a thing. There is enormous value in acknowledging how you are and allowing it to be there. Seeing how it feels to breathe through whatever's there. Not using our meditation practice as yet another way of escaping what we're feeling, especially if it's uncomfortable. Sitting for a moment with whatever's there as we soften into it. So very often that thinking mind, the planning mind, comes into play to distract us from how we're really feeling, because what lies beneath might feel too overwhelming. So my invitation to you for the next 5 to 10 breaths is just to sit with yourself as you are, not covering up how you're feeling with thoughts or explanations or justifications, not extrapolating into the future, into the past, just you as you are, right here, right now, sitting with yourself with a sense of a warm embrace. If you want to release your hands down into your lap, then by all means do that. But let's keep sitting with whatever's there. Noticing the tendency, the very normal tendency early in the morning in particular, to want to lean forward into the day and how you're going to do all the things. Parking that. You can come back to that after our sitting. Taking a breath in again. As you consciously draw yourself out of that future planning scenario. bringing yourself consciously out of what's been and gone, and just sitting in this moment, using some anchors in the present moment to keep you here and to allow you to soften. Breathing in as you become aware of the base that's beneath you, and breathing out as you allow yourself to soften down into it. Breathing in as you feel the length of your spine, the crown of your head reaching up towards the sky, and breathing out as you relax all the muscles on either side of your spine. Breathing in as you become aware of your head, noticing any tension that's there, and using your out-breath to soften your jaw, soften all the little muscles around your eyes and your mouth, your tongue lying heavy in the mouth, or your tongue, the tip of your tongue pressing into the roof of your mouth, or behind the front teeth. A breath in as you feel your shoulders, any tension that's there, relaxing, dissolving as you breathe out, gently drawing your shoulders back to open into your heart space. Breathing in as you become aware of the length of both of your arms, and breathing out as you relax your arms, letting the weight of your arms further release into your shoulders, your hands at ease. Inhaling as you bring your awareness to your belly. Exhale as you soften all the muscles around your navel. Inhale as you become aware of your gaze, your inner gaze turned inwards and upwards, as if you are gazing towards a point between your two eyes. Softening as you exhale. If your eyes are gently open, you're gazing between the eyelashes. Soft gaze. Inhaling as you bring your attention, your awareness to the whole of your body as you sit or as you lie, using your out-breath to fully surrender to this moment. Next breath in, using the breath out to fully surrender to this moment. Breathing in, using the out breath to fully surrender to this moment. Allowing your breath now to just be natural. A completely natural breath. Your breath might feel quite shallow. Just check that your spine is still beautifully lengthened, so there's space for you to breathe. noticing how many breaths you can take before your thoughts drift or rush into their default. And coming back to the breath. Noticing again, how many breaths can you take, being aware of the breaths before you drift away. Maybe it's one breath. Maybe it's 5 breaths. Maybe it's 10 breaths or more. The process is always the same. Noticing. And when you've lost that connection with your breath, just noticing that, not judging it, not feeling as if you're failing, just noticing. Noticing what kind of thoughts you tend to have, and they tend to be fairly similar. We tend to have a default pattern. So maybe even giving your type of thinking a name. Planning, worrying, getting even, problem solving, criticizing, whatever it might be. In the same way that we notice where in our body we carry our tension, so we notice what our default thought patterns are, which can be unbelievably helpful. We notice what happens in our body when we have engaged in our default thinking. Noticing if there's a physical reaction that is elicited in the body. And then letting all of that go. Maybe even offering yourself a little inner smile as you notice how determined the monkey mind is to revisit all the trees that it knows so well. Using your next breath in to bring you into this golden moment. The breath out to relax into that moment. before you have noticed that you've drifted away again. Breathing in, being aware of breathing in. Breathing out, being aware of breathing out. Any distraction, whether it's internal or external, offering a golden opportunity to become present. Seeing whether it's possible to find ease in and acceptance of this moment, whatever it's offering up to us. Keeping the eyes closed, bringing your palms together for the palming exercise that we end with. Rubbing your hands, getting some friction, some warmth, and then cupping your hands over your closed eyes. And gently opening your eyes into the warmth of your hands. Rolling the gaze up to the ceiling, down to the floor, all the way right, all the way left, top right, bottom left, top left, bottom right, all the way up, all the way down, and center forward. And then gently releasing your hands. Namaste. Thank you for joining me. Thank you everyone for joining again. So, how are you doing? How are you really doing? This extension of the lockdown, how's that sitting with you in South Africa? Thank you all. It is just amazing to be able to sit with you. It's difficult. Okay, a few people expressing a bit of difficulty this morning. Okay, there's another one, feeling fragile. Is it to do with the extension of the lockdown? Is it just unrelated? I guess one never really knows where this stuff comes from. I wonder if you knew that you were feeling fragile before you sat, or if that came up as an awareness through your sitting. Gabriella, well done for sitting all the way to the end. Arina, well done for showing up, for knowing that you needed this, and for giving yourself this gift. Okay, I hear you, Carolina, needing to reprogram the mind. Yeah, this new extension has thrown a few of us off balance. It kind of asks us to go through a similar process of coming to terms with everything that it means all over again. I'm hopeful that we'll settle into this more swiftly than we did maybe the first time. The good news is that we know that we can do it. We are remarkably resilient. And this is where a sitting practice is so helpful, because it lets us not just grin and bear it, but to feel all the feels and work our way towards acceptance before and during the sitting. Okay, so feeling fragile, there was a fragility before, an awareness of the fragility before, and maybe sitting just shone a light on it even more. Well done for sitting despite sensing your fragility. It can be very easy to avoid a sitting when you know how you're feeling, if you're feeling a bit fragile, because there's usually the awareness that the sitting is just going to shine a light on it, which is very brave. So well done for that. Wondering how you're feeling now. I applaud you for showing up despite that fragility. That's lovely, and that's beautiful, feeling safe. You're feeling safe in yourself. You're feeling safe because of the extension of the lockdown. I'm curious about that, Alette. So, for as long as I am working at home, for this lockdown, for the extension, I'm going to keep sitting in the mornings. So please feel free to keep joining me. This is, I've said it before, this is, okay, interesting, Alette. So you're feeling safe within yourself, and you're feeling safe with the extension. That's interesting, from someone who actually works on the front line, has a very clear idea of the kind of challenges, the threats, I guess, within especially the rural communities in South Africa, from a medical point of view, and that you're feeling comforted and safe by the extension. It's bold leadership by our president, and I must say I also feel it's prudent. Interesting. Well, I'm glad you're feeling safe, Alette. Hold that feeling. Remember what it feels like. When there are times that you're not feeling safe, you can remember that this is something you have a neural network for, a neural pathway for, rather. You can walk that path again. Okay, glad you are feeling better after the sitting. Nothing wrong with feeling fragile. You know, sometimes we come to our sitting with an intention of changing how we feel, and I would suggest that we try not to create a certain experience. You know, perhaps you walk away feeling more fragile than you did before. That's okay. It's all about being aware of how you're feeling and making space for that. Okay, so someone else feeling safe in the extension of the lockdown. I'm intrigued. I wonder if this is something that is specific to those who meditate or already have a mindfulness practice.
Hi.
You know, if you are maybe more well versed at just kind of rolling with the punches, maybe you're someone who is usually more at ease with change. Interesting, but also feeling safe, feeling held by this extended lockdown. Okay, the silence because of the lack of rushing noise all around us. Isn't it profound? I am actually almost brought to tears when I listen to the bird song around here. I live in a security estate, and the birds are usually pretty beautiful. But this morning I was struck by how they seem to be settling down and settling into the space, because, as you say, there's no one running around and forcing them to move. Oh, I hear you. Okay, this is going to really bring me to tears. The extension makes sense from a medical point of view, but living alone, it's devastating mentally. I hear you. I hear you. I hear you. Sure. Edward, you're getting more support from people even just still online here. Yeah, I have enormous compassion for you and for anyone else who is needing to experience this on your own. I'm so glad you're joining us, because even though it's not a physical body in your space, it's a sense of community. And gosh, what a big challenge. Edward, I hope that you are able to find support in your networks. Are you able to strengthen your connections? I wonder if we shouldn't have a chat. Okay. Yeah, just keep showing up. You're doing an amazing job. And, it maybe sounds a little bit cliched, but the skills that we're developing are going to stand us in such good stead for the rest of our lives. So many squirrels coming out. I'm sure your dogs are loving that. Okay. Lovely. Oh, good, Edward. You've sent me a message. Beautiful. So I'm going to get back to you. Danny, the way, my love. And just keep showing up, allowing yourself to feel whatever it is that you're feeling. You're not alone. You are not alone.